Welcome to a deep dive into the financial realities of the average person. Today, we're going to explore jaw-dropping statistics that might make you rethink your financial habits and goals. If you've ever wondered where you stand compared to the average person, or how you can do better, this video will be an eye-opener. We'll cover income, spending habits, debt, savings, and retirement. And trust me, some of these stats are so shocking you'll question how society operates. Stick around because, in the end, I'll share actionable tips to ensure you're not just a statistic, but someone who thrives financially. Segment 1. Income. What does the average person really make? Let's start with income. The median household income in the United States is around $70,000 per year. But don't let that number fool you. For single earners, the average income drops significantly to about $42,000 annually. Globally, the picture is even starker. The median annual income is just $10,000. But here's the kicker. About 50% of people worldwide live on less than $6 per day. That's less than most people spend on a cup of coffee. And even in wealthier countries, income inequality is rampant. The top 1% of earners in the US make over 30 times more than the average worker. Think about that for a moment. A CEO might earn more in a single day than the average worker earns in a year. Here's a shocking stat. In 2023, nearly 60% of workers reported living paycheck to paycheck. That includes people making six figures. Yes, even individuals earning $100,000 or more often find themselves stretched thin due to lifestyle inflation. A concept we'll dissect later. Segment 2. Spending habits. Where does the money go? Now let's talk about spending. The average American household spends about $66,000 a year. Where does that money go? Here's the breakdown. Housing, 33%. Transportation, 16%. Food, 12%. Insurance and pensions, 11%. Healthcare, 8%. Entertainment, personal care, and other expenses make up the rest. Interestingly, over half of Americans don't budget. Let that sink in. Without a plan, money flows out like water, often to unnecessary expenses. For instance, the average person spends about $1,200 annually on subscription services they don't even use. That's like throwing away $100 every month. Another eye-opener, fast food spending. The average American spends $1,200 a year on fast food. That's $100 a month for food that's convenient, but often unhealthy and expensive in the long term. Segment 3. Debt, the silent financial killer. Debt is one of the most sobering topics when it comes to financial statistics. The average American carries about $96,000 in debt, including mortgages, student loans, credit cards, and auto loans. Credit card debt alone is staggering. The average balance? Over $6,000. And with interest rates often exceeding 20%, that's a financial death spiral waiting to happen. Student loans are another massive issue. In the US, 43 million borrowers owe a collective $1.75 trillion in student loans. The average balance? About $37,000. And many people struggle to pay even the minimums, especially when wages have not kept pace with inflation. Here's the harsh truth. Most people don't think about the long-term impact of debt. Take auto loans, for example. The average new car loan is about $42,000, with monthly payments exceeding $700. Add in depreciation, and cars are a financial black hole for most households. Segment 4. Savings, or lack thereof. Let's move on to savings, or the lack of it. Over 60% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. Even worse, 40% couldn't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing or selling something. Globally, the picture isn't much better. In many countries, savings rates are near zero, meaning people save almost nothing after expenses. The average retirement savings for people aged 55 to 64, just $120,000. That might sound like a lot, but it's woefully inadequate. Financial experts suggest that retirees will need about $1 million to live comfortably depending on their lifestyle and location. And it's not just about retirement. Many people don't save for other financial goals like a home, education, or starting a business. This lack of forward planning traps people in a cycle of financial instability. Segment 5. Retirement. A ticking time bomb. Retirement statistics are perhaps the most shocking of all. Nearly 1 in 3 Americans have nothing saved for retirement. Zero, zilch. Even among those who are saving, most are not saving enough. The median $400 a month. Balance for those aged 35 to 44 is about $37,000. For those nearing retirement, the median balance is around $120,000. Here's a sobering fact. Social Security was never intended to be the sole source of retirement income. Yet it's the primary income for 40% of retirees. With an average monthly benefit of just $1,800, many retirees face tough choices between housing, healthcare, and basic necessities. Segment 6. Actionable tips. Don't be a statistic. Now that we've painted this grim picture, let's dive deep into solutions. The statistics we've discussed are shocking, but they're not set in stone for you. Change starts with small, deliberate steps, and it begins today. What practical actions can you take to avoid becoming just another number in the overwhelming data on financial struggle? Create a budget. If you don't know where your money is going, how can you expect to control it? Budgeting isn't just for accountants or spreadsheet enthusiasts. It's a life skill that allows you to tell your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Use user-friendly apps like Mint or DNAB. You need a budget to categorize every expense and understand your spending patterns. The power of a budget is immense. It's not restrictive, it's liberating, helping you direct your finances toward your priorities instead of letting them slip through your fingers. Build an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable, and emergencies often strike when you're least prepared. The key to financial security is having a safety net that shields you from spiraling into debt. Aim to save 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses, but don't get overwhelmed by the target. Start where you are. Even $500 can be a lifesaver when your car breaks down or an unexpected bill arrives. Make this fund sacred. Don't dip into it for non-emergencies. Treat it like your personal financial shield against chaos. Attack debt aggressively. Debt is a financial parasite that eats away at your future wealth. High-interest debt, in particular, can feel like a never-ending treadmill, keeping you stuck in place despite your efforts. Use proven strategies like the debt snowball, tackling the smallest debts first for quick wins, or the debt avalanche, prioritizing high-interest debt to save money in the long run. Whatever approach you choose, make it aggressive and intentional. Your future self will thank you. Invest early and consistently. Time is the most powerful ally you have when building wealth, and it's one resource you can never get back. Start investing as early as possible, even if you can only afford small contributions. Set up automatic contributions to retirement accounts like a 400 Anonic or IRA. Compound interest is the magic ingredient here. It's how small, consistent efforts can turn into a substantial nest egg over decades. Remember, the best time to start investing was yesterday. The second best time is today. Live below your means. Avoid the trap of lifestyle inflation, where your spending grows as fast as, or faster than, your income. Just because you earn more doesn't mean you should spend more. True wealth comes not from how much you make, but from how much you keep and grow. Emulate the habits of truly wealthy people who stay rich by living as if they're still on a modest budget. Living below your means isn't about deprivation. It's about preserving freedom and creating long-term stability. Educate yourself. Financial literacy isn't a one-and-done achievement. It's a lifelong pursuit. Knowledge is the strongest weapon in your financial arsenal, and it gives you the tools to make informed decisions. Read books on personal finance, follow credible blogs, attend webinars, and watch videos like this one. Stay curious and committed to learning how money works, because the more you know, the better equipped you'll be to build the life you want. These financial statistics are more than just numbers. They're a stark reality check and a call to action. Yes, they're eye-opening, but they're also empowering if you choose to see them that way. The system is designed to keep the average person financially struggling, relying on debt, and living paycheck to paycheck. But here's the thing, you don't have to be average. You can rise above.